Hello guys and welcome to another video. Andrew and Tristan Tate's lawyer Tina Gladian spoke live with Patrick David recently. Here's what she had to say about the evidence against the Tate brothers.
If back in the days when they went after Capone, or I've spent a lot of time with Rudy Giuliani, you know who he is, how he cleaned the streets in New York. The other day, we're at an Italian restaurant here in Florida. We're having lunch with, couple folks. Rudy is there. The owner of the restaurant comes in and says, "Oh my God, when I lived in New York, you clean up the streets." He automatically went to, when I was in New York, you clean up the streets, and how he was able to work with changing the laws to, figure out a way to how to go get them. And even back in the days, they didn't get Capone on anything but on taxes. So there's many ways, if the government really wants to target somebody to ruin their lives, you got a lot of cards to use, right? You can do, well, let's use rape allegation. It's not hard to do. There's a lot of people that have been there that never committed a crime, but, you kind of have to, prove your argument. Hey, let's do trafficking. Hey, let's do taxes. Hey, let's do this. Do you think this is going to be one of those things that if they really want to target these guys, they're going to keep using their cards until they get them? Or is this truly they're only focused on these two allegations that they're making?
No, I think you raise a really good point, and I think that's exactly what's going on in this case. I think that's why this investigation initially started in April. They seized, a lot of their belongings, devices, things like that. And I think it's just been this very lengthy search for any evidence of crime. And I think as far as the actual charges that are being investigated, I think those are going to be proven demonstrably false. I think everything we've seen shows that the prosecution, it's such a stretch. They're trying to pigeonhole human trafficking into a set of facts that just, it doesn't fit. And again, the rape allegation is entirely unsupported. I think the evidence, which again, unfortunately, at this point in the proceedings, I just can't comment on, but I think there's damning evidence showing that these are not charges that would ever be proven. So I think the fear is, and also one other fact is, the other allegation is of an organized crime group, which includes the two women who were just released on house arrest, which I think, again, is a big, I guess it speaks a lot as to what the evidence is that during this investigation, now they've released the women on house arrest, the same women that are allegedly part of this organized criminal group. So I do not feel that they're ever going to be able to prove any of the charges that are currently being investigated. I just think they're using this preventative arrest to prolong their detention in hopes of actually being able to find evidence of crime, which they don't currently have.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part, because if they do that, it's targeting. You know it's targeting. The next thing I want to talk about is WhatsApp messages that came out. When you saw this was live, a lot of people reacted to it. A lot of people read them. A lot of people looked, oh my God, this is it. It's over. It's going to be done. You can't be doing something like this. What was your reaction when you first saw these WhatsApp messages of these two girls going back and forth? We got them, do this, I can't, and then we'll play the victim, all these things. We've all read them. What was your reaction when you saw this that was to the public? Is this a benefit for Tate that shows what they're doing? Or was it kind of like, yeah, we're not even going to be using this?
So unfortunately, I'm really limited to addressing, potential evidence in the case. And so I cannot address that at this time. And I wish I could. But that's for a later discussion. For now, I have to be very careful about what I say as to matters that are still being investigated.
Fair enough. If the people haven't seen it, Rob, let's put a link below where they can go read it for themselves, the exchange. When you look at this, it definitely looks like, and I know you can't comment on this, I'm just telling the audience for them to, it definitely looks like they are framing, they are playing the game, they are talking to each other, play dumb, good advice, thank you, babe, all these weird things, play the victim. I mean, we are like, act like we still love them and stuff, blah, 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 all these things. Tomorrow we should wear makeup and sunglasses so nobody really notices. Yeah, I guess, LOL. We should make a movie out of this. So when you see this, I've seen the both sides of the argument on these tweets, on these exchanges, what people are saying that are saying, well, they're innocent, and I see the side where people are saying, well, they're guilty. They can make up their mind for themselves, but this definitely tells a lot here. There are a lot of people screaming off the top of their lungs that these guys belong in jail for the rest of their lives, and there are those that are saying they don't on the opposite side, being very supportive about it. What do you say to the people saying, no, these guys are guilty, they need to be done, they need to go to jail and stay there forever?
2 points I want to make on that. First of all, I think people need to focus not on the content of their speech, whether they like or agree with what the brothers are saying. I think there's some other critical things that you need to think about, which is the fact that, do we believe people should be detained when they haven't even been criminally charged? Is it right to keep someone in jail for several months when there is not enough evidence to charge them at the time? That's one thing. Second of all, do we want to start criminalizing speech? Are we putting people in jail so that we could try to reprogram them? I mean, that's not what our justice system is supposed to be. And so we're trying to keep the system accountable. And that's not, you don't put someone away, seize all their assets, try to get them to break so that they come out and they don't say the things they were previously saying. And I feel like that's something that seems to be happening in this case, because there's, a number of people who don't, or I should say a big portion of people who don't agree with their messaging. But that's something that should be addressed in a different way, not through the criminal justice system. That's not where you debate ideas, and it's not an appropriate use of the system. As far as what people could look at or read to learn more, I would just say that I think a lot of the things that Andrew says are taken out of context. I think you'll always see that one little phrase that says misogynist Andrew Tate believes women are property. And then if you actually sit down and watch his long form interview, he puts everything in context. And, he says, no, I believe women are equal. I think when I said that, what I meant was, in a religious way, the way somebody gives, the father gives away the bride. So, he'll explain a lot of what he means. And I think it makes a lot more sense when you hear his long format interviews rather than just hearing reading a headline or seeing one little clip of something he said taken out of context, which I don't think accurately reflects what his messaging is. And I think if you watch enough of his content, you realize that the overwhelming majority of the things he says are things that I don't think anybody disagrees with. I think it's all meant to be motivational, and it's trying to get young boys and men, but it applies equally also to women, just to be the best version of themselves and to work hard and to live their best life and not to be lazy. And, there's a lot of positive messaging that people relate to. And I think it's a very small fraction of the things he says that are controversial.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thanks for watching.